What if I told you that the real you isn't inside your head? What if your consciousness, your soul, isn't just a product of your brain, but something that exists on a plane of reality we're only just beginning to understand? Welcome to the Bizarre Bureau, where today we're diving deep into the strangest case of all, the quantum soul. For centuries, science has told us a simple story. The brain creates consciousness. Neurons fire, chemicals react, and out of that biological soup, you emerge. When the brain dies, the story ends. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if there are clues hidden in the bizarre world of quantum mechanics that suggests our consciousness is something far more fundamental, something that might even exist beyond the brain? Let's start with a puzzle that has baffled scientists for a century, the observer effect. In the quantum world, tiny particles like electrons behave in a truly strange way. They don't have a definite location until someone, or something, tries to measure them. It's as if they exist in a cloud of possibilities, a wave of potential. But the very act of observing forces them to choose a single state. It's like a shy ghost that only appears when you're not looking directly at it. Now, here's the kicker. What does it mean to observe? Does it require a conscious observer? Some of the pioneers of quantum physics, like Eugene Wigner, thought so. He proposed the radical idea that consciousness itself is the special ingredient that collapses the wave of possibilities into a single concrete reality. In this view, our minds aren't just passive spectators. They are active participants in creating the universe, moment by moment. Could our very act of looking at the world be what brings it into existence? This idea leads us to an even more mind-bending concept, quantum entanglement. Einstein famously called it spooky action at a distance. Imagine two particles, created together, that are intrinsically linked. No matter how far apart you separate them across a room or across the galaxy, what happens to one instantly affects the other. If you measure one and find it spinning up, with absolute certainty that its twin is spinning down. They are connected in a way that defies our classical understanding of space and time. So, if consciousness can influence one particle, and that particle is entangled with another, does that mean our consciousness can have effects that ripple across vast distances instantly? It's a speculative leap, but it opens a door. If our consciousness isn't bound by physical location, could it be part of a larger, non-local network? Now, let's bring this back from the cosmos and into our own heads. Neuroscientist Sir John Eccles and physicist Sir Roger Penrose, both Nobel laureates, have proposed theories suggesting that the brain might be more than just a chemical computer. They theorize that tiny structures within our brain cells, called microtubules, might operate as quantum processors. Think of them as the biological hardware for a quantum computer. According to their orchestrated objective reduction theory, or ORC-OR, consciousness arises from quantum computations happening within these microtubules. It's not just about neurons firing. It's about a deeper quantum process orchestrating a symphony of information that we experience as self-awareness, as our soul. In this model, the brain isn't necessarily creating consciousness from scratch. Instead, it might be acting more like a quantum receiver, an antenna tuning into a fundamental field of consciousness that permeates the entire universe. Your brain isn't the radio station. It's the radio. This resonates with countless reports from near-death experiences, or NDEs. People from all walks of life report remarkably similar experiences during clinical death, floating above their bodies, traveling through a tunnel of light, and experiencing a profound sense of peace and interconnectedness. Skeptics argue these are just hallucinations caused by a dying brain. But here is the puzzle. Many of these experiences occur when the brain shows no signs of activity. How can a brain that's effectively off produce such vivid, structured, and life-changing experiences? If consciousness is purely a product of brain activity, this should be impossible. But if the brain is just a receiver, then perhaps when it shuts down, our core consciousness, our quantum soul, is temporarily untethered, free to experience a reality beyond the physical. These accounts, once dismissed as mere anecdotes, start to look like valuable data points when viewed through a quantum lens. Could these be glimpses of consciousness existing independently of the biological machine? So what does this all mean for us? It suggests a radical reevaluation of who we are. You are not just a collection of cells. You are not just a brain in a jar. If these theories hold even a sliver of truth, then your consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality itself. It's woven into the fabric of space and time. The information that makes you might not be confined to the 3 pounds of matter in your skull. It could be entangled with the universe in ways we can't yet imagine. This isn't just a philosophical daydream. It has profound implications. It suggests that our individual consciousness is part of a much larger universal consciousness. The feeling of connection, of empathy, of love, perhaps these aren't just emotions, but faint echoes of our fundamental unity. We are not separate islands of awareness, but waves in a single vast quantum ocean. The idea of a quantum soul also reframes the ultimate question: what happens after we die? If consciousness is a quantum phenomenon, and information in the quantum world is never truly lost, then what happens to the information that constitutes your consciousness? The Orkor theory suggests that when the body dies, the quantum information within the microtubules isn't destroyed. It's released back into the universe, perhaps to exist indefinitely. This isn't a promise of a traditional afterlife, but something even more profound. It's the possibility of conservation of consciousness. The story doesn't just end. The data, that is, you, might simply change form, rejoining the cosmic field it came from. It's a modern, scientific take on an ancient spiritual idea, that we are stardust, and to stardust we shall return, not just physically, but consciously. Of course, we must be clear, these are still fringe theories. The mainstream scientific community largely remains skeptical, and for good reason. The evidence is circumstantial, and the concepts are incredibly difficult to test. But science has always progressed by pushing boundaries, by daring to ask what if. The greatest discoveries were once considered bizarre. The fact that Nobel laureates and respected physicists are seriously exploring these questions tells us that the simple, materialistic view of consciousness might be reaching its limits. We are at the edge of a new frontier, where physics, biology, and philosophy collide. The mystery of consciousness is perhaps the greatest mystery of all, and the answers may not be found in ourselves, but in the stars, and in the strange, spooky quantum realm that underpins everything. So the next time you look in the mirror, remember what you're seeing. It's not just a face. It's a vessel, an antenna, a biological machine of incredible complexity that is right now tuning into the symphony of the cosmos. The real you, your quantum soul, might be something much, much bigger. What do you think? Is consciousness a ghost in the machine? Or is the machine just a receiver for the ghost that permeates the universe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the bizarre, don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell to join the Bureau for our next investigation. Stay curious.